Okay, so we are going to be talking about the discussion posts for one of the classes I missed. So the first one is week 4. So if we look at the questions, there's a lot of questions here that we could ask. I will talk about number 4. So number 4 is it says describe Buddhist views on craving and realistic expectations. So um first of all, I came to this website and looked at the Four Noble Truths. Um, and then I'll describe the Four Noble Truths, discuss on the Four Noble Truths, and then try and connect it to answer the question of to answer like Buddhist views on craving and unrealistic expectations. So let's look at the Four Noble Truths. Here we see like basically the Four Noble Truths are the first one is the truth of suffering, which is dukkha. The second is the truth of the cause of suffering, samudaya. The third is the truth of the end of suffering, nirhota. And the fourth is the truth of the path that frees us from suffering, which is magga. Um, Basically, talking about the first noble truth, translated as life is suffering. Basically, this teaching is not intended to like convey a negative connotation of like the world, but then it just helps to put into perspective that like there's certain aspects of the world that is considered suffering, and then and basically saying that in life everything is variable, like nothing is fixed, right? So understanding the first noble truth is saying that everything is variable, nothing is fixed. Yeah, it says it says that dukkha also refers to anything that is temporary, conditional, or compounded of other things, which is this portion right here. Um, so saying that even in life, that even the things that are precious and enjoyable is still suffering because it's going to end, and the only things that are constant is like aging, death, sickness, those things. So basically, to say that life is stressful, right, or life is suffering. And then the teaching states that if you want to be happy, you need to look outside ourselves. You can't look for things within to be happy because first of all, people are different. So for one person, happiness could be money, it could be fame. For another person, it could be, a relationship. But then no matter how much a person wants, which is like this thus going into the second noble truth, is no matter how much a person wants, they will like even if they get whatever they want, they'll still want more. Um yeah, so here it's like the attachment to what we desire is what gets them into trouble. So basically, understanding, kind of bringing it back to the question, which says describe Buddhist views on craving and unrealistic expectations. From the first two noble truths, we see that craving is something that is natural, but yet it's not good. It's okay to want things, but then the attachment to those things that you want is where the real issue starts. That thirst, that craving to those things is what is wrong or is bad. And then their view is, if you look at 3 and 4, is the end of the suffering. Basically saying that the third noble truth is um okay, so they're saying that this is something that you need constantly you know work on. There's methods like the eightfold path, which kind of shows a path that you can take to break free of the shackles of thirsting and craving for certain things. It says without the path, the first three truths would just be a theory. The practice of the eightfold path brings the Dharma into one's life and makes it bloom. Basically saying that like once you understand the first three noble truths, the first the first being the truth of suffering, second being the cause of suffering, and third being the ability to know that all these things are temporary. but yet, even with the craving and everything, there's still a way that you can break free, which brings into the fourth noble truth, which kind of is tied, or is the treatment known as the eightfold path. I hope this was comprehensible enough to understand and to answer the question of Buddhist views on craving and unrealistic expectations. Thank you.